Hi everyone. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Masuma and welcome to We Now Hub's interview series. My guest for today is Karina Ladet. She's joining us from France. And Karina is an intuitive channel and a mentor for conscious entrepreneurs. So hi Karina, welcome to We Now Hub. It's so nice
Hi,
to have you
Massimo.
here.
Hi, Massimo. It's so great to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation because we connected many years ago, and it's so great because of course I've been following your work online, and it's so great to kind of stay in touch through that. But it's
Yes.
lovely to see you again.
Yes, I don't think we've spoken to each other face to face like this. It's always been through posts and videos and things like that, right? It is so amazing to
Yeah.
connect like this. I'm meeting
Yes.
such amazing women, through this platform. I'm totally enjoying myself.
So
And
much fun.
yeah, and you'll be sharing with us, you'll be taking us through an meditation later for creating a soulful business you love. Yeah, so please stay with us because Karina is fantastic in leading people through meditation, taking them
Thank
through. But before we proceed, Karina, uh, please would you just tell us about yourself? Like, what is it? What do you mean by a mentor for conscious entrepreneurs? What does that mean?
Great question. So thank you so much for your kind words. I'm always really happy to have like these experiences because the meditations are really about inner journeys, and I love outer journeys as I'm traveling too, but it's
Mm.
great to take the inner journeys and to share them with other people. So basically, 20 years ago, I did a workshop where I learned how to receive messages from my spirit guides, yeah, to channel messages from my spirit guides.
Mm.
And from that moment, I knew that I really wanted to share that practice with other people who are looking for inner guidance, who are maybe feeling a bit confused, not finding the right answers for them. And then I waited for about 10 years before I finally had the courage to start my business. And so that's how I started doing this work. And it was so interesting because actually most of my clients at the time, and this has continued, were entrepreneurs, people who were also wanted to start a business or who had a business.
Mm.
So mostly people in the like wellness field, I guess, like healers and
Mm.
intuitives and people doing some kind of like alternative health and artists. So I guess, or people who are doing very traditional jobs like webmasters or tech gurus or whatever, but who had a really intuitive or creative approach. And
Right.
so that's how my work transitioned from doing readings for people to really supporting them in their businesses, because what I found as I started my business was that um, I did the work that I enjoyed, like my sessions, and that was amazing and fun. But then I had to do all the marketing and being on social media and all the things we have to learn to be able to call in our clients.
Yeah.
But what I discovered was that I couldn't really do the traditional marketing strategies like other people seem to be able to do because it wasn't working for me.
Right.
But when I was tuning into my intuition and I shared like from my heart and I did it in a joyful way, then it worked. Like it was fun. I felt like that was also part of the fun parts of my work,
Mm.
and people seemed to be attracted by that.
Mm.
So I started to do that more and more. And then other people came to me asking me how I was doing it and how I was, running my business. And so I started sharing. And that's how it's kind of evolved. And now I have a program where I teach this. I do it one-on-one as well. So I kind of feel like I didn't really choose this. It's more like it chose me somehow. And I'm always very happy to share what's worked for me because I'm so invested in like other people and a lot of women, who like want to create a life where they are financially independent, they
Mm.
do work that they love and that's meaningful, and
Mm.
they can support their families and contribute, like all those really beautiful values as well.
Yeah, that's great. That's amazing. So when you say you are an intuitive channel, so what do you mean? Do you like when you channel or you work with people, do you know intuitively what is right for them, what work they should go in, what business they should do? How do you mean that mentoring, entrepreneur, and channel? So how do they two come together?
Great question. Well, I guess well, when I connect with people, I kind of sense things. I think we all do this, but maybe because I practice so much, it's growing stronger and stronger. You know, like when you meet someone, sometimes you get a sense for, you know, who they are, if you can trust them or not, what they're good at, maybe, and even like imagining things for them. So I feel that when I connect with someone, especially in a session. But then what I love to do is to, I guess, empower others to find their own voice and to find their own path. And that's why I do a lot of guided meditations, because in my work, I guide my clients into this inner space, and together we discover what, you know, what's right for them, or, you know, maybe what to create in their business, or who their soul clients are, or how to make more money, or it can be really practical things as well. But what I do is I guide them into that space, and then they receive the answers. And of course, I also share things that I receive, but I really let them be at the center, because I feel like a lot of this work is so much about telling us what to do and telling us what's right. And although that can be very gratifying for our egos, I feel like my goal is that my clients, they walk away from a session or a program feeling like they have access to their own inner guidance and they know what's right for them. You know, that I'm just kind of holding space, but I'm not the one telling them what to do.
Right. Sometimes, but then you must be coming across clients who are quite stuck. They can't really get in tune to themselves, right? I get stuck sometimes. So how do you assist them moving forwards, you know, to tap into their inner self?
Yeah, I think we all get stuck sometimes. I get stuck too. I think it's just part of being human, right? We're stuck and then we unstick ourselves and then we get stuck again. So, well, I guess I do like a mix of inner guidance, like healing, I guess healing work, where we tune in and then I ask my clients what's really going on. Because you know, when you have a fear or you go, oh, I can't do that because it's too scary, or I don't want people to know what I'm doing or who I am. And when you get really still and you listen, usually we can find out what's really going on. And it can be things like, I don't know, things from our childhood, or maybe from our education, or things we heard in school, or ideas we have about ourselves. So we kind of go on a journey to discover what's really going on. And then I don't analyze so much, you know, like talk about exactly what the fear is. It's more about feeling it in your body, and then like learning what we need to learn about it, loving our fears and our resistance as well, and then like releasing it, filling it with more energy. And then I feel like the fears and the other emotions can dissolve sometimes very quickly and easily, and sometimes we need to go back over and over again because there's the same ones that we need to, like, you know, deepen.
And so do you have like just online, or do you have one-on-one as well, sessions with clients?
You mean if I do them in person here where I live, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly online. I mostly work online because I live in a small village in the south of France. So it's quite, I mean, there aren't that many people around. And also because I love working in different languages. So I mainly work in English, but also in French and in Swedish. So online is like perfect for me. And especially this year has been so wonderful, and I'm so grateful. I love meeting people in person. So whenever I have a reason or a great excuse to go somewhere, I mean, I sometimes see people locally, but it's not very often. And then sometimes I'll go to events in other countries or here in France, or I'll create something here, but it's not as often as the online work.
Right. And you just mentioned France, the small village, right? So let's come to your personal life now, if you don't mind. So
Yeah,
can you share
of course not.
where do you stay? What's your life like? What does Karina do in her, like in her personal life? What is she? Who is she?
Oh, lovely. So I'm Swedish. I grew up in Sweden. I've lived in quite a few different countries because I love discovering, new people, new cultures, learning about, yeah, other people and getting closer, I guess, in that way. So 20 years ago, I met a French guy in Sweden, and then we ended up moving to France. And I'd already been here before, but I never thought I would live here like permanently. And now it's been like, yeah, almost 20 years. And I have two children who are now teenagers. So that's my life. And then I live in this small village in the south of France. So, quite warm. People are super friendly. It's an area where there's a lot of, like, I guess, community, and we help each other out. And it's quite a slow lifestyle, which I'm super grateful for because I have a lot of energy and I'm a little bit obsessed with my work. So it's great for me to live in a place where people, well, as you may know, French people love like taking time for like long meals, cooking, like the whole lifestyle, spending time as a family. And so it's actually really lovely. I spend a lot of time in nature because there are some really beautiful places around, like just outside of where I live, like beautiful rivers and mountains. And yeah, so it's really, that's my life, I guess. So it's very simple and down to earth, like cooking and bringing my kids to school and meditating outside. And yeah, I'm traveling when I can, but right now it's not as easy. But I love also, of course, traveling and going back to Sweden when I can to like hang out with my friends and my family.
Yeah, I know. I see your posts on Facebook and Instagram. They're mostly around trees and rivers, and
Yeah.
you definitely do love nature.
Love nature.
And what are your kids? I mean, the sons, daughters, what?
I have one of each. My son's 14 and my daughter is 11. So that's been interesting, as all mothers and fathers know, like journeying with our children and seeing how they grow up in a world that's quite different from ours, and how we position ourselves in that. I think it's really interesting. I talked to someone yesterday about, how to navigate maybe intuitive, soulful work, and also like being very hands-on with children and like normal life, because I find it so good because it really grounds us in reality. Like we have to make decisions and be really present and hopefully not miss anything important with our children. You've shared so beautiful your journey as well with your children, and I think it's so great to kind of be invited into someone else's experiences as well.
Yeah. But do your children understand what you're doing? I mean, are they in the same on the same path, or are they? And your spouse, your partner, do they understand? Because very often what happens is that, I see in our circles that the one partner is in doing all this healing work and energy work, but the family is not really understanding or not supportive of their work as such, because it's too woo-woo sometimes. So do you get that support from your family? Do they understand what you're doing?
Oh, that's a great question. And it's true, that can be such a struggle for a lot of people going through this. Well, when I met my husband, he already knew that I was really into spiritual work. So I didn't really come out or discover this during our journey together. So he kind of knew what he was getting himself into. So he's really open to what I do and he really supports me. He doesn't really understand everything that I do, but I think that's actually really nice too. He's like a musician and he does like other types of work. So it's actually really fun because we can talk about certain things, but then we also each have our own kind of passions, which is nice. And he is really supportive around like taking care of the kids when I'm doing stuff. So that's been really, really wonderful because it helps to have a spouse who's supportive. And I guess my kids are really supportive too. I mean, they are quite intuitive, but in a, how kids are, like, it's just natural to them. So they don't talk about it so much. You know, when I try to ask them questions, they're a bit like, you know,
Yeah.
but they're definitely living, I guess, like that. And then I guess I'm also intuitive or spiritual in a quite playful and lighthearted way, you know, like we don't do any like serious energy work together or anything like that. I
Right.
try to support them whenever I can,
Mm.
but yeah, it's just like a normal part of life, I guess.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so let's come back to your work again and what you do. Uh, so, I mean, I would really like our viewers to get a small taste of, what you do, a small preview, like, because I have attended, I've gone through meditations that you have conducted, so I know what you do, but I
Hmm.
would really like my viewers to get a taste of it. So would you be ready right now to lead us through a meditation?
Yes, I would love that. I actually find that the most magical thing is to share the experience because
Mm.
it's so hard to put it into words, isn't it? What we feel when we when we go through a guided meditation.
Yeah. What meditation are you doing? I mean, before we get into it, what is it? I mean, for what purpose and what do the viewers, what would they get out of doing this meditation? I mean, what's the purpose? Do you get
Hmm.
what I'm asking you?
Yes, I think so. Yes. So I guess today it would be really fun if we could connect in for people who feel like they would like to start a soulful business or for people who have a business. And so when I say soulful business, it doesn't mean that you have to do like intuitive work or healing work or anything like that. It can be doing business in a soulful way, like meaningful, heartful, yeah, uh, deeply connected way, I guess. And
Mm.
I think we can do any kind of business like that.
Yeah.
So we'll do a meditation to ground, center, and then connect in with our soulful business. And so for anyone who has a business, they can, you know, feel that. And for anyone feeling like maybe this is for them, to
Mm.
start connecting in with it energetically before it's actually here in the physical.
Right, right. That's great. So, before we start, I just want to say that I'm going to turn off my video because I just want my space while I'm doing the meditation. I'm following you. So is that okay with you?
Yes, of course. It's so important to, you know, trust yourself and do what feels right for you. So yes, of course.
Okay, sure. So please, the stage is yours. Please carry on.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So for anyone watching this, I invite you to take a moment to get really still, close your eyes, and you can sit up in a comfortable position or lie down. And if you're watching this recording, you can press pause and get really comfortable before we start. And then I invite you to take deep breaths with your belly, breathing in and breathing out. And as you breathe out, release all thoughts, emotions, energies that you are ready to release right now into the earth. And let each breath cleanse you and clear you of any heaviness, any fears, anything that feels heavy or hard inside right now. And then allow yourself to sink deeper into your body, to feel your body. If there's any tension anywhere, just breathe into these places. And allow yourself to become more and more present on each breath. And then feel the earth underneath your feet. And simply feel Mother Earth's loving, healing presence. And then breathe in earth energy and let this grounding, loving energy fill your feet, your legs, and your hips. Breathe in earth energy into your belly, your solar plexus. your heart. Let the earth energies cleanse you and clear out everything that you're ready to release right now, and to fill you up with this nurturing, loving energy. Filling up your inner well. And breathe in more earth energy into your heart, into your throat, into your head. Let it clear out any thoughts or beliefs or stories that are no longer true for you. Clear out other people's opinions and ideas. And let the earth energies clear out all your senses. Also your intuitive senses. And then breathe in more earth energy and let it fill your whole physical body, your emotional body, your energy body, and your boundaries all around your energy field. So you create this loving and safe space inside and all around you. And then I invite you to sink deeper into your body, deeper into the earth, as you open up to receive the divine cosmic energies, and let these loving, healing energies flow down through the sky, filling your head, your throat and shoulders, your arms and hands, your heart, your solar plexus, your belly, your hips. Breathe in more divine and cosmic energies into your legs and your feet, and let them flow down into the earth, all the way down to the heart of the earth, anchoring in this vibration, this love, and anchoring in your presence and your gifts here on earth at this time. And then I invite you to welcome in more of these beautiful, loving, healing energies, and to let them fill your physical body, emotional body, energy body, and your boundaries all around you. And now I invite you to sink deeper into your heart and to open up and connect with your soulful business. And simply allow yourself to receive whatever you receive. Any sensations in your body, any thoughts, any images. If you have any fears or any resistance, just lovingly release all of that into the earth. And then connect from heart to heart with your soulful business. And ask it if it has a message or any guidance for you right now. And simply open up to receive this message or guidance from your business. And then I also invite you to open up and to call in all the support that is here for you and for your business. Opening doors to receive the right people, the right opportunities, all the resources you need. Time, maybe a space, money, tools. And also to open up to receive your soul clients, the perfect people to co-create with, to really open up to receive all the support on all levels that is here for you, and to allow yourself to receive all this love and wisdom and support. To breathe it into your life, to let it infuse your business. And to remember that you're not alone. You're surrounded by your people, loving, supportive energies that are here to help you on your path. And when you feel ready, I invite you to really let these energies sink deeply into your physical body, into your whole being, and to ground these energies deeply into the earth, grounding them into this physical life here on earth at this time. And then I really invite you to continue to keep your eyes, open as you walk through your day, as you walk through your business, and to pay attention to signs and to gifts that you will receive and that you're always receiving. And then I invite you to thank your beautiful business and to release it from the sacred space, and to thank all the support that has gathered here, and to release it from the sacred space, coming back fully into yourself, maybe stretching or moving your body to really land again in your physical body. And you can take some time to maybe write down any messages you received, any images or symbols, and to really honor your experience, whatever it's like. And then, of course, you can come back to this meditation as often as you wish, and really take your time to explore your connection with your soulful business, whether this business actually exists in the physical yet or not.
Wow.
Yeah, was that okay? Because it was kind of short, but I tried to do it focused.
Awesome. Wow.
Thank you. I'm so glad. So lovely to share this with you as well, Masuma.
Yeah, I am. Just let me get back to
Yes. Take your time.
as awesome as always. Okay. During the meditation, when you mentioned about those who are watching the recording, I just got a thought that do you usually set an intention when you start your meditation that only those who need to connect with you would come across it, or is it just that whoever watches it?
No, I usually set an intention. And that's one of the things. I'm not very, well, as you know, I kind of improvise a lot and I follow my inner guidance, and I don't take myself super seriously, but I try to be very intentional in what I do. Because of course this work isn't for everyone, and it's great that there's something for everyone out there. So I really set an intention that the people who need this now, that they will find it and that they will connect. And you know how sometimes we ask a question, we're like, oh, I really need help with this, or I would love to meet someone who does this, or meet more people who think like this. And then all of a sudden they appear in your life. And so I want to make sure that the door is open to the people who are kind of asking for this without maybe even knowing that this is what they want.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. That's the thought that came to my mind, that what's your intention when you do your meditations, conduct your meditations.
Yeah, it's a great question. And I think it's really, whenever we put our work out, whatever we do, I think it's great to have an intention, like, who is this for, and to making sure that we can connect with those people, because I think we all need support sometimes, no matter what that support looks like. So it's great to, I guess, open that door.
Right. Okay. Do you know this work that you do for entrepreneurs and their work? Is it only for women, or do you even work with men?
It's so interesting that you asked that. Mostly it's women, but actually I've had more and more men contact me for this work. So I don't really have a preference. I just love working with people who are really like ready to do the work, and they can be at the beginning of the journey. They can be like super experienced, men, women, all ages. I think it's just really great that more and more men are interested in this.
And so how do your sessions work? I mean, what is it, like one session, or are there a few sessions, or is it a program? How do you go about doing this, you know?
Yeah, just so many different ways. I mean, people can book just one session because sometimes, we just need support with one thing.
Mm.
And some people are also supported by other people. So sometimes a session is enough. So sometimes I do one-off sessions,
Mm.
but I do prefer working longer because, you get to know the person and you can go deeper. And
Yeah.
there's I guess, the trust that we feel when we work with someone because I mean, of course, we sometimes have amazing experiences, and it's really beautiful. But sometimes we also have, deep fears coming up. So
Mm.
it's quite, I guess, a vulnerable space as well. So I love. Sometimes I work 3 months with people or 6 months, and then I have my 6 month long programs and masterminds. So the Embrace Your Purpose program, that's really for entrepreneurs, and then I do a Lead with Heart mastermind that's more for like I guess, leaders, whoever feels called to lead in some way. And that doesn't have to be business, it can be family or personal life. It's like embodying that energy, I guess. So I prefer working longer if I can
Mhm.
because it's just so much more
Right.
amazing, I guess.
So, and your sessions, like if it's a single session, what would the person expect? What would they get in a single session? And how long are your sessions usually?
So my sessions are usually around like an hour and a half, because I find that once you dive in, like you really need time to explore.
Yeah.
Um, what can they expect? Wow, it's so different for everyone, I think, but definitely a lot of clearing, because I feel like that's really one of the key things. Because often we come to a session because we want something, like we want more of something or we want to experience something. But I
Right.
feel like we need to let go of whatever is holding us back first
Right.
and kind of making space, like spring cleaning before you
Yeah.
bring in new furniture. So like clearing, so that can bring a deep sense of relief, letting go of things maybe that have been in people for a long time.
Mhm.
Because intuitive work is really powerful. I'm always quite amazed, how quick it can be sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's not so much in the mind, it's not so much about analyzing or talking, it's
Yeah.
more like an inner sensation, I guess.
Right.
And then they call, like, I guess for a lot of my clients, they really receive some of the really big dreams quite quickly.
Right.
Of course, it also depends on what they do, if they put things into action, if they keep moving through the uncomfortable parts.
Right.
So it's not, it's always like both of us, I guess, doing the work together. So sometimes, they write the book they've been wanting to write for a long time, or
Mm.
they like bring the perfect space to hold workshops, or all of a sudden they sign a new client, like, so it can be really tangible things, but it's also, I guess, the inner peace and feeling like coming home to yourself,
Mm.
feeling like, yeah, this is who I am, and confirmation
Mm.
for what they knew, because I find so many people are so intuitive and then they second guess themselves,
Yeah.
like, oh, I knew that, but I wasn't sure. Maybe it was just me. And
Yeah.
so a lot of times in my sessions, that's what happens. I will say exactly the same thing that they've been thinking. And
Yeah.
so they go, oh, right. Yeah, I knew that. So confirming, I think, what we know in a really deep way so that people can feel more confident about their own gifts.
Mm.
So yeah, I guess that's a couple of things.
Just out of curiosity, when you say that you do the clearing for your clients, uh, which kind of clearing is it? I mean, is it in different bodies, or which aspect of clearing you do? Is it multiple? Is it like holistic, or is it emotional? In which way do you do the clearing?
Definitely holistic. And I don't really think that I understand everything that my clients experience. You know how sometimes it's like very subtle as well.
Mm.
So it's definitely on all levels. It can be, beliefs they have about themselves, things
Mm.
they think they can't do. It can be emotional stuff like, taking on too much responsibility for others, or overgiving, or all those things that I think a lot of us do.
Mm.
And also physical things. Like, it's amazing what happens, I think, when we set an intention and we focus on something. So it's emotional, physical, energetic. it can have really tangible results in our physical life too. You know, like, so like if you have a difficult situation, sometimes it just dissolves and the person changes, or, you know, it completely switches things as well. So both subtle and very practical and down to earth, I guess.
Right. Okay. That's great. And what about your 6-month program you mentioned? Do you have anything upcoming? How does it work? Do you have like pre-recordings, or do you have a time frame when you are working with them? How does it work? Do you have anything upcoming?
Yes, well, I am. I've just started. I will have registrations open until September 30th for my Embrace Your Purpose program that I've been running, well, 4 or 5 years now, I think. It's really, yeah, quite magical each time also for me. So it's 6 months and I open registrations and then people can like connect with me. I do usually some kind of free challenge so they get to know the work, just like we just did now with the meditation, because it's so important to kind of feel, you know that it's the right person and the right format.
Yeah.
So I have like guided meditations every 2 weeks in the program. So those are all recorded and people can do them over and over again, and focused on certain specific aspects of business, like money or clients or connecting with your soul and knowing, you know, where it kind of wants to go, connecting with your business as well. And then we also meet like this, but in a group, and then there are one-on-one sessions. So it's kind of like all levels, but it's not overwhelming. Like I don't have tons of content. I like to be really focused on the most important aspects and then really going deep with that, and then supporting people with whatever's coming up during the program, because most of them are already working, already have their businesses going maybe. So I also help them with, you know, if they have a sales page that they want me to look at the copy, or they want advice when it comes to choosing images, or whatever it can be that's practical as well. And I'm like an open book, so they can ask me all questions about like me, my business, my life, how I do things. And I share, you know, what worked for me and what didn't work, the mistakes I would like them not to make that I made, you know, like I really love sharing so they don't have to do all the things that I did to create my business.
Yeah. So the purpose program is like what your soul purpose is? Is that what it is, or it's just a general term? What do you define purpose as?
Oh, well, it's kind of a tricky word, isn't it? Because it's used a lot and we don't always know what we mean by that. And then I feel like it'd be like, oh, I have to find my purpose. And if I don't find it, then I've missed my whole life, you know? Well, the reason it's so funny because this program, when I kind of channeled the whole program, and it was called Embrace Your Purpose. And I didn't understand because that doesn't sound very business-like.
Yeah.
But what I realized as I run it over and over is that it's really about connecting with why we are here, what we're here to create. And a business can be a part of how we express our purpose. But then I think our purpose is also something we can express all the time. And for me, purpose isn't necessarily, you know, have a soulful business or do this. I feel like for me, it's more like a quality maybe. When I connect in with my purpose, for example, I often get things like radiating love, or being a channel of light, or being a channel of love, or something like that. And I think our purpose is what we do all the time. You know, if someone was to describe you, I'm sure that they, you know, people would say the same things over and over. And I think that is your purpose. And it's something that's so natural, you don't even think that it's a thing.
Yeah.
And then some people, you know, they make it into a business, like I guess I have with mine. But then we can express our purpose when we're doing the dishes, when we're with our families, when we get our groceries. Like, I don't think it has to be like a big fancy thing, if that makes sense.
Yes, I mean it's so nice the way you expressed it, because yeah, I mean so many people are always chasing this elusive thing, that what is my purpose, what is my purpose. I think for the longest time I have asked the same question, and in today's time you come across so many different types of purposes, you know, your life purpose, your soul purpose, and I don't know, every time there is a new purpose that pops up, and then you're like, I have to find this purpose and I have to find that purpose,
Yeah.
like crazy. And the fact that you say that, it could be something which everyone is just mentioning it to you, but you bypass it because you think you have to search for something bigger.
Yes.
And it's right there in front of you. And you're getting the signs all along, but you're like, oh, I got to find it somewhere up there.
Yeah, totally. It has to be like spectacular,
Yeah.
and
Okay. So coming back to your program, you said you have a challenge for them, or you have a preview for 6 days or 7 days, right? So do you have anything going on
yes.
right now?
Well, I just finished sharing. Sorry, I just. They can still sign up to it on my website, and it's going to be up for another week or so, I think. So they can still use it. And I'm doing a live call on Tuesday, September 29th. So people who haven't done the videos, they can still come to the live call if they want to. So yes, I love doing that because I really want people to feel like they can experience a little bit of my work so they know what's best for them. And I think they need to kind of experience it for themselves to know. So, or it can help. Some people just sign up because they know without doing any of my work. So that's fun too.
So the live will be where? Will it be on your Facebook page or in your group? Where can they get access to it?
I'm going to do it on Zoom and record it. So once they sign up, they will get it on my list, and I will also share a link to the recording in my Facebook group that's connected to the challenge.
Right. So, but you've closed doors for new people to join that group, or can anybody still join it?
They can still join it, I think, for another week or so until I start the program, I think. So they can still join until September 30th, around that time.
Right. So could you just give us a bit more information? The name of your group, where can they find it? Where can they contact you or find more information about your program? Just general details about this program.
Yeah, I think the easiest way is to go to my website, karinaladet.com, and in the menus, there's a free activate your purpose challenge or something like that, and they click on that and then they sign up. They will get everything. And then on my website, I also have a page with my Embrace Your Purpose program where they can read more and they can book like a free 30-minute session with me to talk about it and ask questions. And it's not a sales call, it's just conversation so that they can ask any specific questions maybe about them and their work to know if it's the right time, if it's the right format, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Could you just spell out your name and your website so people get?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
So Karina, Karina, and then Ladet is Ladet, and then .com.
Right. Perfect. Perfect. It's been so great talking to you, Karina. Is there anything else you would like to say to whoever's watching right now before we say goodbye to them?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Masa. It's been such a pleasure. And I want to thank everyone watching this, whether you're, watching this recording, because I think it's so important that we don't forget that we're not alone and that we're in this together, and that wherever we are, whatever we're experiencing, there are other people who are feeling the same things. And when we connect, across the world, we're so much stronger together. And I feel this more and more, especially this year. I think that we really need to connect and create things together and support each other, and to do it as a community, because if we all do our own thing, it's just not going to be as powerful as when we come together and we find solutions and create things that are good for everyone, for our earth, for all people in all countries. I really think that's the future. So to not forget how powerful you all are as well.
Yeah, it's really 2020 has been very different, but it's just brought everyone so much closer. You know, there are more online events, and you know, from all over the world, people are getting to know each other. So it's just so amazing. And
Yes.
yeah, and I would really recommend whoever is watching right now that please do sign up for Karina's program, and she does have the free, uh, you know, what do you call that, sessions or
Challenge, maybe? Yeah,
challenge.
free sessions as well.
Website, yeah. So just get to know her through those free challenges, and she's amazing at leading people to their heart and soulful business.
Thank you so
And
much, Masuma.
and also those of you who are watching, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel, We Now Hub, and please do like my page on Facebook. That's also We Now Hub, so I can encourage me to do more of this work, and I can support more beautiful and lovely women like Karina.
Oh, thank you so much, Masuma. Your work is so important. So yes, everyone subscribe and share these conversations as well, because I think it's so important. And what you're doing is so important. So thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you so much, Karina. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Thank you, Karina. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.